Okay, hello everyone. Hello Polkadot community. How are you doing? I'm Anna from Polkadot Insider, and today we're just so proud to have an AMA sessions with Unit Network, a scalable blockchain for composable NFTs with advanced economies in terms of marketplaces, games, and other dApps. They offer solutions that allow non-blockchain developers to quickly deploy dApps to mass market with scalability on par with non-blockchain solutions. And in case you don't know, Polkadot Insider is a channel updating news, data analytics, real-time data, and research about projects to support retail investors' deals when investing in the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem. And today, Polkadot Insider, we're just so happy gonna have a detailed conversation with Mr. Alex, the CEO and co-founder of Unit Network, who's going to share with us about the growth potential of Unit Network and also what innovation or interesting upcoming events that the project team is going to bring to the ecosystem. All right, so I'm not going to let any of you guys wait any longer, so let's start. So to kick off the atmosphere, sir, can you tell us a little bit about Unit Network and also about your background and how you became involved in the world of NFTs?
Okay, thanks, Anna. Welcome, everyone. I'm Alex Mitrovic, CEO founder of Unique Network, as Anna has kindly presented. Unique and us and NFTs. The story is long, okay? We are in blockchain space since 2016 and in NFT space since 2018, I guess. A little bit more history than most blockchain projects, but I'll try to keep it short. I'm in software development business for more than 20 years. And I was starting to develop the global strategy for a software development company called Ustech. Has about 700 people now. I kind of researched all the cutting edge technologies at the time, and I've fallen in love with blockchain. So we opened up the blockchain lab as part of that in 2017 and started doing projects of different kind. And then, to be honest with you, the story with NFTs was like this. I did kind of see things from time to time here and there and got a kind of interesting, saw some interesting projects that sparked my imagination. But then I started speaking with a friend of mine, a guy I know who is a founder of one of the exchanges in Europe, and he was like, "Okay, I now sold my exchange, and now I'm into NFTs," and we really deeply started looking into it, talking about it, and came up with a project that was our first in the NFT space, where we used AI to determine fair pricing, market pricing for NFTs. And this was in 2018, okay, a while back, and in 2019. Then we started working on Polkadot stuff in early 2019. And then by the end of the year, we realized nobody was doing any NFT stuff in Polkadot. So we jumped in. We did the first NFT palette in the Polkadot ecosystem, released it in February 2019. 2020, sorry. As I said, long history, so trying to establish the timeline here. And then when we finished that, when we kind of published that, in parallel, we were doing some work on Cosmos NFTs as well. And we were like, okay, comparing those two, wow, we got something really going on. So we continued to develop that besides everything, kind of very quietly. Nobody knew what we were doing. And then Polkadot came up with Hakusama, the first hackathon they had during the summer 2020. And we said, okay, this is the time to kind of show off what we got. And for that hackathon, we built the basis of Unique Network today. Of course, we launched the testnet. We launched the first NFT collection in Polkadot ecosystem at that hackathon, our Substerpunks. And from then kind of really publicly started to kind of build out a unique network. So that's kind of a history, if you want.
Yeah, thank you, sir, a lot. It's such an interesting summary of your journey and also a little bit about Unit Network. Yeah, and yeah, to say NFT is very attractive and irresistible, and we can see that how thriving it is. Yeah, so thank you for that sharing. It's really nice. Yeah, so talking about NFTs, so what are some of the most exciting and innovative uses of NFTs that you have worked on or you have seen so far, sir?
Okay, first of all, NFT space is exploding in innovation. Okay, nobody outside of kind of the builders really appreciates the amount of innovation and number of people working on some kind of really cutting edge stuff and new stuff and so on. It has been so since the kind of NFT boom of the last couple of years, and is especially so now. Because if the first kind of NFT boom that happened with people kind of selling his stuff for $69 million was around collectibles use cases, we all in the industry understand that the next wave will be much different. Will be about other use cases, about much more advanced features and stuff like that. So a lot of people globally are digging into to look for the next kind of use case that will really boom. I personally think that actually is going to be several. Just like DeFi has exploded in a number of different kind of directions, number of different products, number of different use cases. I think NFTs will follow the same route, but it's exactly the innovation that will drive the next waves of interest, boom, and so on. We are seeing a lot of enterprises have gotten into NFT space, and a lot of them, to our surprise, are doing it very maturely and very kind of deeply thinking through, and are finding and are understanding actually the value of NFTs even much, much better than crypto people. Okay, because crypto people, they talk about technology and they talk about the next kind of thing you can do technically, which is what we do, and I'll tell you about it in a second. But enterprises actually think of, okay, how can we really use this for something that our customers will appreciate. I think we have in the audience a friend of mine who's kind of founder, CEO of Versatile, which is a 3D rendering kind of engine, and brings basically some really good-looking 3D NFTs into the space, and does much more. Okay, he will kind of bug me after this for not kind of defining it fully or rightly, but the thing is, everybody's tired of flat JPEGs. Okay. We want digital world to look good, and for that we need 3D NFTs. And so this is one direction. I think that's one of the exciting things because it's immediate. It's kind of building out the attractiveness of the whole thing, and so on. The fashion brands are really embracing the NFT space, and again, 3D is a must for them. And they're coming up with some also very interesting things. We have, maybe you have noticed how Louis Vuitton just launched kind of their collaboration with Kusama. Not Kusama, our blockchain, but Kusama, the artist. And has rolled out the kind of game and stuff like that. NFTs power that, but nobody's mentioning NFTs, okay? And that's, I think one of the best ways to approach it, because it is NFTs are very uh, threatening to large portion of the population because they don't understand them easily. It takes quite a while to understand what NFTs really are, and nobody wants to feel stupid for not understanding things. So that's why, even Starbucks in their projects is not talking about NFTs. They're just, hiding that under the hood. So that's one big direction, and I think it's very right for the mass adoption. Honestly, blockchains, NFTs, that's databases. Nobody cares about databases, and when where is your picture when you post something on Instagram or Facebook? Nobody really knows. So it's similar here. We crypto people like to kind of, push us ourselves first and say, okay, this is on this blockchain, this is on this blockchain. But, I think that 10 years from now, nobody will really care, except for builders, that those people should care. As for, other innovations that are happening, we are seeing I think that the immediate direction is the merging of the digital and physical worlds, and deploying NFTs for helping handle the virtual versions of the physical products. So fashion kind of is going that direction in a big way, I think. Both high fashion and mass market fashion. Actually, the mass market fashion was more or less first. But we are seeing, everybody jumping in, and a lot of interesting things are going to happen there. Second direction we're seeing a lot of work in is digital events and event management. That basically it's pull-ups, but pull-ups are not enough anymore. I think people are projects are more and more getting into extending the life of that pull-up into some real experience that kind of brings later benefits or has other kind of any kind of value longer term. And it's interesting how things are connected in this space, because events are actually very tied into loyalty programs, whether it's corporate. Our partner Lemonade just did an event for Budweiser, for example, or it's for celebrities, for example, who need kind of the connection with their fan base. And NFTs are really deepening that. So, the event kind of management is fairly tightly coupled with these use cases, and there's going to be a lot of it. There's going to be a lot more, and there is a lot more already happening. Movies, music, everything. To finish off this, which is most exciting part of the discussion around the NFTs, to be honest, that's why I'm talking so long, the technical side of things, okay? We have made the chain that is truly next generation. It's NFT infrastructure. It's NFTs 2.0. And they can do nesting natively. It can do RFTs natively. It can do advanced rights management, so that creators can actually customize the relationship that they have with their art post-sale, or enterprises can kind of change things and so on. You can enter dynamic NFTs, which we have in partnership with one of the best NFT studios in the world, Snark Art. And there is a lot of things happening to make NFTs much more accessible to the wide audiences, which is crucial, because they are a glue to blockchain space they are a way to mass adoption. So we have the tools for sponsoring transaction fees, so that hiding the blockchain is easy. We have an SDK, something that I'm going to talk with the number of parachains later tonight, We built the SDK that it does two things. One of it is important for this discussion is it basically enables any developer, any Web2 developer to develop stuff on blockchain. So that is as far as enabling mass adoption. So lots of Okay, Anna, you there?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, let's go on with the next question then.
Yeah, thank you, sir, a lot for such an
Can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Yes, okay. So, yeah, we can see that Unit Network has been deploying and developing this field in a very unique and visionary way. And we really understand your point that I have seen a lot of projects have difficulties educating people about NFTs value. Yeah, but I believe that you can do it and Unique Network can do it very, very well. Yeah, and as you said, a lot of interesting use cases and updates from this field, from this NFT field that really worth expecting. Yeah. So I heard you say about Unit Network SDKs. So now we kind of want you to share with us more about this one. What is your vision? Yeah, what is your use case with this one?
Okay, so I mentioned it a little bit in the previous kind of discussion. The SDK we made is designed to do two things. One is to allow, we have, maybe a couple of thousand substrate developers, maybe a few thousand more Solidity developers, or, overall blockchain developers who know blockchain insides, the smart contract and so on, is less than 10,000 people globally, I think, or so. It's that kind of order of magnitude. Yet we have millions of Web2 developers. Okay, so in order to tap into, in order to build more, in order to be able to build more, you need to give access to those millions of people to the easy way to learn how to do that and how to use the blockchain, and so they can jump right in. What we have done is build its REST API. The REST API is something that all the developers know, and it's very simple for them, and all they need is half hour to kind of read through the documentation, how specifically is handled this, and that, and off they go. All they need to know about blockchain, they can do in half an hour. They can learn in half an hour. Seriously, I mean, this is simple stuff because, again, a blockchain is a database, okay? So the access to build games, any kind of UI stuff and so on. Initially, it was, for us, it was marketplaces, okay? We have vernissage guys here, I guess, and they know what I'm talking about. So giving the developer, giving the projects ability to make what they want to make, the business that they want to make, without kind of having to hunt for this very, very short supplied skill set of Solidity developers, for example. So that's one kind of one value of it, and the second one is the fact that the substrate itself, which kind of is the basis for our parachain and all the other parachains in Polkadot, is a changing technology. So every time it changes, it can break things that use it. So in order to manage that, if you have, if you have one or two applications, okay, you can every time kind of look into it. But if you start having dozens of applications, which we do, then managing those changes becomes really painful. So we encapsulate that into the SDK, and so people who build on Unique, they don't have to worry about substrate. Their maintenance cost that way is zero. So, and not only maintenance cost, but maintenance risk. That's the most important thing, because nobody wants to have application that breaks down from time to time. Okay, but again, the main value is enabling any kind of when we talk to enterprises, big companies, we tell them, okay, you can develop stuff for us. You don't have to kind of engage a dev studio that specializes in Solidity development. Your guys can do it. You can try it. It's easy, simple, and so on. So that's the target market. We often talk about it as Web 2.5, okay, because it's a step back for Web 3.0 to Web 2.0, but that's the step we give the hand to everybody else, and that interoperability, I think, is the way for growth. So that's the idea. And actually, what we want to kind of, what our next step with that SDK is, well, we are doing now, we're building the gaming SDK, so, which is geared towards gaming companies. We are almost there, basically, because we already have SDK for iOS, for Android, and for C# Unity, which is kind of, 60-80% of the market. So basically, we will launch that, and then we will actually we're looking into open sourcing that SDK for other parachains to use. That's something I'm going to talk with a number of parachains to see if they need it, if they want to pick it up.
Well, that's really great, sir, and I believe that it's very good news. Yeah, and it really helpful for all the users and developers to know in terms of many convenience and risk management system from Unique Network. And we definitely can see, as you say, a lot of upcoming updates with SDKs. Yeah, and that's really great. So next, I think it's another very interesting question. So how do you think the use of NFTs will change the way we think about ownership and value in digital age? Oh, sorry, can you hear me well?
Yeah, sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, sure. So, how do you think the use of NFTs will change the way we think about ownership and value in the digital age?
Okay, so when today, most people on Earth, when they think about digital ownership of stuff, and that stuff is usually internet stuff, it's digital stuff, we think about, we are still going through the consequences of Napster. Okay, we're still kind of digital piracy, really launched by Napster, and everything that followed, made access to digital forms of entertainment, music, videos, film, and so on, free. Okay. And then we have had, 20, 30 even years, 20-something years of big industry trying to get it back in kind of commercialized digital worlds and so on. NFTs actually will cement that, okay? Because NFTs are not yet used as an obstacle to get into something, not that much. Most of NFTs, you can right click and kind of have that picture if you want it. It won't be yours legally, but still you can kind of post it as your avatar and nobody will notice. Okay. But the idea here is that it's a technology that can be used to enforce ownership rights online. And if you take that premise to the extreme, and I suspect in some countries you're going to have that, okay? In countries that are very controlling, I think that in 10 years you're going to have IP rights management that includes blockchain and probably NFTs, for an immediate and complete control over managing the IP rights, okay? Because today, for example, if somebody rips off a movie and puts it on a free site and so on, then the way that the right owners fight with that is they report that to their country for closing the access to it, and they review it, and then they maybe close it and so on. So that's what's happening. That's the way it's happening now. It's far from being perfect. You can still find anything you want online for free. Even live events, even whatever.
Okay, don't worry, everyone. Maybe just a little bit of lost connection.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, we're gonna see a lot of NFT action in gaming space and a combination of other use cases that incorporate gaming that are close to it. Where NFTs are going to be items of that you need or want to have in the game, and then they're just going to be free to trade and so on. Okay, these are use cases that probably most of the people in this audience know already. But the ownership becomes much more. The bottom line to the question, how do we think about ownership in digital age? It will change it, because we're gonna kind of finally, because the society finally has a way to digitally control really effectively the ownership rights, IP rights online. It will culturally change the view, fortunately or not, depends on which side you are in. If you're a consumer, then it's unfortunate, you won't get free stuff. If you're IP rights maker from any stage, then it's very fortunate, because it allows digital artists to get paid for their work and continue to get paid for their work and so on.
Yeah, we absolutely understand your point, sir. Yeah, and we know that NFT is much stronger and effectively secure than we thought. Yeah, and as you say, like NFTs really have a very impactful, movement into a lot of fields. Yeah, and it's something like still changing and impacting. Yeah. So, however, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing NFT market today, or even in the future?
Okay, today and in the future are very different things, because there's a lot of challenges, and you have to overcome them one by one, even if you're kind of new technology, and especially if you're new technology. So as I said, what we are working on, the challenges that everybody's working on right now are okay. We had collectibles. We have collectibles. We've shown how that can work. Beautiful, but that's boring very quickly. Okay, because uh, you can't do much with them. Okay, so the next questions are: what do you do with them, and how do you develop the technology to enable to do that stuff for them? Because let's be frank and honest, on Ethereum, on EVM chains, you still cannot do much with NFTs besides collectibles, because you cannot fit much of a smart contract into one block, okay? Or you cannot do much stuff on chain, and that's not the point, okay? Doing them off chain. So you have this conflict. So we have significant improvements in the technology itself, which is what we are doing. The infrastructure becomes much more scalable. Next, actually, thing so much more scalable, much more flexible, because flexibility is extremely important. NFTs are unique pieces, and you'll have millions of different ones from the builders of it, and you cannot do them unless you have complete flexibility with the ways of doing things. The way in the EVM is envisioned is very opinionated. It's very strict, limited. You have to pay transaction fees every time you use something, or you have to kind of write a smart contract that is that's there forever. You cannot have anything forever in this world. You have to have a governance to upgrade stuff all the time, and so on. Then there is a big thing that is very important. That is sustainability. A big problem that everybody is kind of fighting. And the CO2 produced by NFTs in Ethereum 1.0 was unbelievable. It was horrible. Okay, it's still bad. It's still very bad, even in Ethereum 2.0, just like in many other chains it is. But at least it's getting better. And what we have done is something, we have taken that to the extreme, so that basically the ecological impact of NFTs is not an issue. Okay, that's how we are getting a lot of traction from a lot of brands and kind of partners. That sustainability kind of that energy efficiency with which you make NFTs with us. The NFT mint is basically produces same amount of CO2 as one human breath. Okay, that's nothing. Okay, you can make billions of those and not affect anything, and that's very important actually. So that's something that we have solved for, and a lot of people are working on solving, and we don't stop there. We continue, and kind of by partnering up with offsetting partners who can bring in carbon offsets and all of that stuff. So those are kind of things that are happening now. Now, in terms of challenges in the future, there's going to be so many, but they will be very use case based. So real estate industry is going to have one. The financial industry is going to have another. The various forms of entertainment is going to have a third, and so on. But the main challenge getting there is getting NFTs simplified enough for people to understand them on a massive scale, and getting people on a massive scale to understand them. So education, that becomes a very important thing for the next, I would say, 3 to 5 years. And all the projects doing stuff should have that in mind, because I was talking to a project today, okay, who was saying, okay, we have this, we want our audience to understand NFTs. Okay, we want to bring them something that everybody's talking about, a lot of people are talking about, and make it, and they are a fashion brand, so they need, it's people who are in the fashion world to understand NFTs. And I was like, okay, They're not going to understand it after you send them a pull-up. Okay, that's not the goal you should have. We are in NFT business that's all we're thinking about for like 4 years, and we still don't understand a lot of things about it. So pare down your expectations and take basically make them not understand that, but get them in the door, give them a pull-up they can kind of easily claim and get a feeling of, okay, now I have it. Beautiful. I have no idea how I got here. I have no idea how to repeat this. And I have certainly no idea how it works, but I have it. I have passed the first hurdle. So that step-by-step learning and getting people accustomed to NFTs is what's going to be happening. The most important thing that's going to be happening over the next, again, 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, thank you, Sir Lot. Yeah, as we can see that when it comes to challenges, one of the biggest one may be about technology. How it's gonna really meet the user's need when everything is changing so fast. But we believe that with unique network plan, strategy, and really energy, yet confidence and experience, you guys can manage all of them very well. Yeah, and nothing can stop you guys from keep learning, keep developing, and contributing to the NFT development. Yeah, in your unique way. Yeah, we really believe that. So
thank you.
Yeah. So the next question. So beyond art and entertainment, are there any specific industries where you see NFTs gonna be deployed in, or any interest gonna coming from?
Okay, so art and entertainment is actually a lot of industries, a lot of different industries: movies, fashion, sculpture, etc., etc. Gaming. All of that is art and entertainment, and each one of them is developing in its own ways. I assure you, a lot of people have noticed the space enough to actually jump into it. If you take a look at fashion, I think that 80% of fashion houses today are looking into NFTs, or are thinking about doing something with NFTs, or are doing something about NFTs. The adoption there in the next year, 2 and 3 and beyond will explode. We have had some very good and thought through experiences in the fashion world, and that will continue because fashion world is full of very creative people who are about telling stories. So they're not picking this up from the point of view of the way crypto world is, but are looking to tell a story with it, and that's great. Okay, that puts it into. I've seen, to be honest with you, I have seen more better artistic approach to the NFT world from the fashion industry than any other form of art. The visual arts is full of kind of very simplistic views on things, and I see there is demand in there for advanced stuff, for taking it further and so on, but the laziness there is actually much stronger. So watch out for the fashion world. I think that through events management, you're going to see all kinds of events starting kind of taking NFTs as a glue to expanding their stuff. museums are opening up to a lot of things, and we're kind of contemplating a lot of different ways how we can kind of help them out. For example, make exhibitions not a one-time thing, but kind of writing having a story about that exhibition and have that as an IP on ongoing basis forever. Okay, so they can have and NFTs are we're using NFTs to push for that. The movies, of course, music, of course. There's a lot of things coming in, and there's a lot of interesting concepts out there. There's even people are even working on having a melody or something on one instrument and then combining that with other instruments or vocals, using the IP from one, just like we have photo stocks. You can have music stocks, and use that for whatever purposes you want. There's a gazillion use cases for that in today's world. So, music is not something we just listen to the old ways. We listen to that everywhere, in coffee shops, in kind of commercials, in corporate videos, in everything. NFTs can probably bring in, can probably become the technology platform for the commercials of all of that and IP rights management. What else? A gazillion of things happening, to be honest with you. The specific interest, as I said, the interest is coming. We are seeing a lot from fashion, from events management, because that's where we deeply work in, and we're of course in gaming. There are a number of exotic use cases, but in many other industries. But I think they're a little bit further down the road. I think, for example, for me, the biggest industry that will be changed by there's two kind of specific use cases that I think will be crucial. One is identity, and when we have governments adopt government-issued documents or certificates of whatever in that form. And second is real estate. Now, both of these kind of are very conservative as customers, so they're going to be slow. But I give governments, 3 to 5 years to get really serious about it. There are a number of examples already. But the real estate industry is the biggest non-fungible market in the world. Okay, it's trillions of dollars. But in order for it to adopt a blockchain and NFTs, which is a perfect technology for it, it'll take maybe decades. Okay, so we're focusing on things that come in now, and those are fashion, the event management, gaming, and actually the merger of all of these. Okay, loyalty, and so on. It's like, we're seeing a lot of mixing of kind of business models and industries, so to speak, because in what we do.
Yeah, we cannot agree more with the user that NFTs will cover many more fields that it has done right now. As you say, the movies, the fashion, and many other more. Yeah. And NFTs, like, people gonna see more values of NFTs and gonna very engaged into it, and we can really see like a variety of ways that a lot of projects and also Unit Network gonna use and gonna develop NFTs in the upcoming time, the upcoming years. Yeah. And you say, as you said, who knows what's gonna happen, but we know that NFT is gonna keep growing and thriving and keep, giving the communities a lot of surprises. Yeah, and good news. Yeah. So to close this question today, maybe about a very relaxing question. So, sir, if you can describe unit network in just 3 words or some sentences, so what would they be? Oh, sir, can you catch my question?
Sorry, I was on mute. NFTs 2.0. That's what we are. We are the next generation NFT infrastructure. That's very simple.
Yeah, that's simple, but it's very strong and really tell us how unique network is. Yeah, and it's unique. Yeah, as your name. Yes, very impressive. So, I think it's all about the questions today. We have been through a lot of very nice, very interesting information about NFTs. How is it going and how's it gonna developing in the future, and also a lot of things about unit network and its upcoming events that really worth expecting for all of us. Yeah. So, sir, before we say goodbye, do you have any words left for our listeners today?
Happy to kind of answer any more questions. Welcome to join our Telegram channel. I'll be doing a community call next week. We will be doing a community call next week where there's more ability to ask direct questions and so on. So happy to collaborate, happy to work on stuff together. There's a lot of work to be done. So our main focus is on establishing partnerships with teams and people and projects and companies that can do stuff. So looking always for those. Very happy to engage, and I guess thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, and thank you, Unit Network, for joining us today with the AMA series. And and also we're really thankful for all the listeners have joined us today, and we hope that you really like it. And please visit Unit Network so that you're not gonna miss any latest updates, any latest interesting news from Unit Network. Yeah, and also we're gonna post a recap about all the information today, so that you're not gonna miss any important information about this AMA. Yeah, so don't worry, we're gonna post it very soon. Yeah, so and I think it's the end, and it's time to say goodbye. So goodbye, everyone, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.